What the haters talking about?
What's up, family? The United States of America's judicial system is a strange institution. Some might say corrupt. If you find yourself on the other side of the bench and you are a suspect, you are rolling the dice regardless of whether you did it or not. There's so many variables: black, white, rich, poor, high profile or not, gender, you name it. It also comes down to the lawyer you have. In this case, we have a court-appointed lawyer representing a man who's been accused of a crime that we don't know what it was, but we do know that he was asked whether or not he wanted to testify on his own behalf, whether he wanted to take the stand. Typically, lawyers would tell their clients, I don't want you on the stand because you'll open yourself up to cross-examination, and the lawyer can trip you up, the prosecutor can trip you up, and then we could lose the case. This lawyer, the court-appointed lawyer, recommended that his client not take the stand. Well, his client said, fuck that. I'm taking the stand. I don't care what you say. When I first saw that, I was like, yeah, this dude he's going to jail. Here's his first mistake. The first mistake was committing a crime. The second mistake, getting a court-appointed lawyer. The third mistake, badgering the court-appointed lawyer. You already ain't got two pennies to rub together. You got a court-appointed lawyer, dude who is underpaid and overworked. And you are counting on him to help you gain freedom or maintain freedom. And you're badgering him? Not a good look. But let's take a look at dude's options, because it is very important. I don't give a damn if the lawyer is paid or court appointed, that you take stock in your own case. It is very important that you ask questions, that you do research and not totally rely on the lawyer. In the case of dudes getting on the stand, perhaps he knows something that we don't, but traditionally it's a bad idea for a suspect to take the stand. Whether he did it or not, it's just a bad idea. Because lawyers are skilled in tripping people up to say the wrong thing when they're on the stand, guilty or innocent. But this dude was adamant about taking the stand. Apparently he knows something that we don't. Perhaps he feels though, look man, if I'm gonna go down, I'm gonna go down swinging. I'm not just gonna take this time like y'all want me to. I'm not about to just leave it all in this lawyer's hand. He's sitting on the bench talking to the lawyer. I'm leaning on a lawyer like this. Lawyer like this here, lawyer like I was scared. Fair. The thing about these lawyers is that these court-appointed lawyers walk down the same halls as the DAs and the judges and the police in some cases. They're all in cahoots. They're all on the same team. The The public defender works for the state. That's where his check comes from. So it's kind of like he working for you, but he really not. This is why so many people get time when they deal with court-appointed lawyers. They get screwed over and over and over and over again. It's a horrible thing to have to deal with a court-appointed lawyer. But that's the way it is. If you ain't got no money, you find yourself in the criminal justice system. So it is very important, if you find yourself on that side, to ask questions. Don't be some little yes person and be all meek and when you fighting for your life. Even if you didn't pay the lawyer directly, your tax dollars pay for that lawyer to represent you, if you find yourself in that situation. So you have a right to question him. You have a right to have proper communication from that lawyer. Sometimes lawyers don't call you back when you're locked up, especially if you have a court-appointed lawyer. They won't talk to you until they walk into the courtroom. So ask questions. Do your research. But don't badger your lawyer. Whether that lawyer is paid or a public defender, whether that lawyer is paid directly by you or is a public defender who's getting paid with your tax dollars, that person is still operating in a capacity whereas they have your life, your freedom in the balance. They can go hard for you, or they can just let certain things slide or whatever and just be like, man, I just want to be done with this dude. I just want to be done. And this happens all the time. Let's go back to mistake number 1. Do not commit the crime. And then you ain't got these problems. Especially a black man in America, especially. These people have jobs. And their job is to lock you up. So it don't make a whole lot of sense to step into that courtroom and ask for mercy from people who are not employed to give you mercy. No more talk.
What the haters talking about?